The business launched as me being a Pilates teacher originally, and I think for the first 3 years, I took a lot of it personally. It was my baby, it's my business, and because a lot of it was Bethan had to be there for the business to work, I took success to be what I was doing in the business. Christmas time, I broke down, I cried, I decided to stop the business, and then my husband said to me, I can't sing, but I'll talk really loud. How's that?
You sing. That's part of the. Did you not see it on the?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. There you go.
There you go. Brilliant. That was brilliant.
It's my next career move.
Cool. So it's just a little bit of a conversation between you. It's
cool.
an opportunity for me to get to know you a little bit better
and
the business. So with that, you can introduce yourself and what you do and what the business does.
Yeah, cool. So my name's Bethan. I own a business called Pilates Class. We started the business 3 years ago. We are 3 today. So it's actually our birthday today, which is super cool. Thank you so much. And basically, we help founders or entrepreneurs that are looking to launch wellness spaces within wellness or just wellness in general. And we'll help them with their operations from recruitment to HR to marketing, strategy, pricing, and timetable.
So specifically in the wellness space?
Yeah, we're specifically to Pilates specifically. So if anyone's looking to open a Pilates studio within a hotel, within a business, or maybe they're looking to open a boutique studio, we'll come in and sort their operations and recruit their team.
This is very niche.
It is very niche. So it's niche because I've kind of fallen into it. I'm a Pilates teacher. I was bringing my children up. I've got 3 boys, so they are now 8, 10, and 17 coming up. And I was bringing them up while my husband had his career. And then when my 3rd son went back to school, I decided I wanted to go back to work, but my background's in marketing and I didn't really want to go back to sales and marketing. So I wanted to do something with a bit more meaning. I struggled a little bit with my mental health sort of around COVID time, and I was really into running, and I'd run the London Half a couple of times and thought, I just feel really good when I move. So I decided that I was going to become a personal trainer. So that's what I did around the kids' school pickups and drop-offs and everything else. I then fell in love with Pilates purely because being a mum and my body changed quite a lot. My core was weak. Running ruined my joints a little bit, so I needed something a little bit more low impact. So I was just a Pilates teacher. The business launched as me being a Pilates teacher originally, and then when I moved back home post-COVID, I got offered a job at a luxury hotel, which was a saving grace. It was only part-time, but I noticed really quickly that Pilates as a service or wellness within hospitality was growing rapidly, and hotels didn't really know how to manage the wellness growth, because they didn't have experience in wellness. They had experience in hospitality, they had experience in revenue, or if they were in the leisure department, leisure was leisure, spa was spa. The wellness was becoming a third wheel to that leisure spa operations. So I started working with them to do more things like sound healing, Pilates events. We then started helping with corporate bookings. It just kind of grew arms and legs really. And then I loved doing it, but what I didn't love was being employed. I always say I'm the worst employed person in the world because I just always want to make something bigger. I want to help more or be more creative, and I felt a little bit stifled in an employed role. So after maybe 6 months of actually realizing, hang on a minute, I'm constantly being asked, do you know instructors in this area? Do you know instructors that could pick up a corporate event? Do you know instructors who might be interested in reformer Pilates, yoga, blah, blah, blah. And I was naturally recommending my network anyway because I'm quite a social person. I'm very about community, so I knew a lot of people within different areas, not just in Cardiff, but London too. And I thought, why am I not making this a business? Like, where do people go to find wellness instructors? Because you don't go to LinkedIn, right? None of us yoga, Pilates, meditation teachers are promoting ourselves on LinkedIn. So maybe then you go to leisure jobs. But leisure jobs isn't really, it's more PT, fitness related. Do you go spa jobs? Well, probably not, because that's more massage and spa related. There wasn't anything that was like wellness recruitment. So you had to go to multiple different platforms, and it always wasn't that great. You might post a job, pay £100 on Indeed, and get maybe one person back, because we're not naturally doing that by nature. We're a recommendation business. You'll know a yoga teacher or a Pilates teacher who you recommend into a job, and that's the way the industry's always been. But it was like, and that's working, but actually, why is no one doing this? So I may as well try. And then I handed in my notice 3 years ago in August, and I rang my best friend who's in marketing and said, I've got this business idea, I want to launch an agency, can you help me with the branding, I want to give it a go. And she helped me launch the business, so I handed in my notice. Luckily for me, the hotel I was working at said, where are you going? And I said, I'm starting a business, and they said, well, we'll hire you straight back. And it was like, well, that's a win, you know? So naturally it was like, well, I'd love to do that, because I still want to be here. I love being here, but I'm not great at being employed, because I want to change a problem. There's a problem and I want to fix it, and I can't do that being employed. So I stayed with that hotel. I'm still with that hotel. Yeah, they're amazing. And then off the back of that, another hotel reached out and said, look, we're trying to build Pilates. You know, there's really a lot of interest, but we don't really know what to do. So we were really fortunate that we had a good relationship with them, and we started managing their Pilates completely in-house. So they ended up being 4 or 5 of us that would run the whole timetable. We'd manage sickness, cover, wait lists. We ran the whole department for them as an external business, which was great. And then about 18 months ago, I looked at my business as we scaled. We were going from sort of startup to scale up, and I was a mess. It was, profit margins were so low. Business looked great. We were nominated for 9 awards that year. And on paper, it looked great, but when you actually pulled down into the actual profitability of the business, it couldn't scale the way that it was. It was at like 3%, 4% profit margins at best, because even though all the money was coming through the agency, we were then paying instructors, we were covering sickness. I would be in Cardiff, and a studio 20 miles away would need a cover teacher, and then all of a sudden it would be back on me to either find someone or do it myself. So the system wasn't there. There was no systems, there was no setup. It was me trying to manage something into a business. So Christmas time, I broke down, I cried, I decided to stop the business. And then my husband said to me, look, don't give up, just go again. You know, this is something you're really passionate about. You spend so much time on it, just keep going, you'll figure it out. And about 18 months ago, I decided, right, we're going straight to recruitment. So we will relaunch as a recruitment agency. And this time it won't be a profit. We were working as an agency where we'd find the work, the teachers would pay us a cut of any of the jobs that came through. Whereas now we work directly with studios, hotels, gyms, they pay us and we recruit their teacher teams. So profit margins went up to 48%. We've gone from just me to 7 people. Our profit margins are so much higher, our turnover is so much better, but mostly I'm working a lot less for a better business model that I just absolutely love. And we've just got our first round of investment, so we've just raised £50,000 to help us to scale effectively now across nationwide. So yeah, it's amazing. I love it. And I think I just listened to a talk about how you keep your DNA in the business, like what your values, and I love wellness. Like I truly, when I started Pilates class, I knew I couldn't reach people just on my own, but I knew if I could help studios launch sustainably and find good teachers and connect them to good work, they would then be able to reach more people mentally, physically, socially, and we kind of become that kind of invisible boost for other people to do well to reach.
So you've had a journey, to say the least.
Yeah.
So success, what does it mean to you, and how has that changed over the last 3 years?
I used to think success meant revenue, and it still does. You have to look at your business as a separate entity to you. And I think for the first 3 years, I took a lot of it personally. It was my baby, it's my business. And because a lot of it was Bethan had to be there for the business to work, I took success to be what I was doing in the business, like personally. And I've really realized that success isn't about me or what I'm doing, it's about systems and having a really strong platform. So if I do step back or I am away from the business, there's people there, there's systems there, and it isn't about me as such, but us. And the business is an entity of its own, and my job is to ensure that it's looked after.
This time you've built a business rather than built yourself a job.
Yeah, exactly. I've hired myself.
Yeah. Which is brilliant. No, because a lot of times when you start, some people start a business, but they end up building themselves a job. Me and Kev speak about this a lot because you don't want to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
So what you've done now is you've almost not even pivoted, but you changed. Well, you have kind of.
I've pivoted
massively.
so many times.
So
yeah.
now you're finding what's working well. So well done to you, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's great stuff. So now when you look at that journey, like, do you feel proud?
I feel so proud. I feel emotional. Like I can't even, I think if you're a founder, you'll know exactly what I mean. This hasn't just been something that's happened. I didn't sit there one day and go, I'm going to build a business, I'm going to scale it, I'm going to grow it, and there we go. This has been a real passion project for me, and it still is every single day. I know when someone starts a business, or they're opening a boutique studio, or they're opening something, yes, it will bring them a revenue, yes, it will launch them a business, but ultimately, that's going to allow people space to feel good in that business. Wellness is such a, you can't explain it. When you're in the wellness industry, it's a bigger reason than you and your profits and your business. You're reaching people to feel well, and I think that's just amazing.
What's your deepest driver for what you do?
This is going to sound really weird, but so I'm neurodiverse. So since a young age, I've always been over enthusiastic about everything. I just naturally am. And for me, I think it kind of knocked my self-esteem, taking time off of my career to bring up my kids. I love my boys. But I lost myself a lot in being a mum because I just wasn't using that side of my life. And my self-esteem took a really big knock with my mental health as well post-COVID. And for me, it's just to say that I can do this, to build my own self-development and also to start something and finish something. Originally, I started this just to earn an income, but now I'm definitely building to sell. And Pilates class will exit at some point. And now I'm building because I believe in myself to do that, and I believe in the team around me, and I think it brings so much value to people in business and in everything it reaches. So yeah, I think for me, the biggest driver is to see it through.
And would the younger version of yourself be proud of the woman you've become today?
Yeah, no idea. Just no idea. I think that younger version of me was just so introvert to an extent, or not even introvert, just unsure of herself. And I still get it now. I get imposter syndrome. Like you would not believe. I was just listening to the talk in the 10, and I think the reason I love coming to Ideas Fest is because you realise all of these people are the same as you. Whereas every day I think, I'm just making this up. I am just seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. I'm pivoting, I'm trying my best. But some days I feel like my best isn't enough when actually it is. So I think my younger version would just be proud of how much I keep turning up for the business, for myself. Yeah, I should be really proud, I think.
And has there been a book that's changed your trajectory or your life, or a quote or something that someone said to you that's really made you think and changed the way you...
Yeah, I don't think I love to read. Books has been a big part of my personal development. I'm always reading. Podcasts are really, really great as well. I think the biggest thing for me was leaning. There's a book called Lean In. It's an amazing book. And how I would always see something scary or something negative as something to not go near that feels uncomfortable for me. Whereas Lean In has been great for me because that's where I've grown, where I've gone, do you know what, this feels really uncomfortable, but this is where I need to lean into this because what's the worst that's going to happen. Whereas historically I would have just avoided. I am that type of person who avoids conflict at any opportunity, but actually you can resolve a lot with good communication. So just lean into your problems because they're a lesson. They're not to be avoided. That's where the work is for you, and that's where you grow as a person because it's challenging, it's hard. You have to look at yourself honestly and make changes, and those changes are what's going to take you where you want to be.
My last question, I can sit and talk to you for ages,
but
there's
nice to know.
Obviously where
just time to go.
it's been so hard. We only had 15 minutes left. I'm like, how much can I get out in 15 minutes? It's so hard.
I know, yeah.
But we're trying. We're really trying.
Yeah. Squeeze it up.
So I've got Magic Mic, and if I give you this mic, whatever you say into this mic, the whole of society is going to hear it. So I want to know, what is Bethan's message to the world?
You're enough as you are. I don't think you need to force anything or over-deliver. Whatever is going to happen for you is within you, not outside of you. And I think the more that we relax and just be ourselves, when you're authentic, I think you walk your own path that way. And I think sometimes there's so much noise, especially in entrepreneurship or founders, or everyone's got an opinion. But I think internally you know which way you should be going with your business, and I think sometimes we need less noise, more action. And believe in yourself. You are enough already. It's a journey.
Amazing. Bethan, it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you so much for letting me chat.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You.